and welcome back to the Hairy Housewife YouTube channel, you beautiful lot at home. Now it's been a while since you've seen this face on your screens. Unless you've come from a previous video, then you only seen me about 5 minutes ago. Now that has been down to the great British weather. We have had rain, we have had wind, we have had hail, we've even had a cheeky little bit of snow, and it's been horrendous. It's been really hard to get out and wash your vehicle, let alone film it, but I am back and I'm here to talk to you today. Now you may remember in my previous video I was talking about the Max Shine V2 Mini Cordless Polisher. Well, since then I've acquired another one, and this one is from a company called Batoca. Now if you want to check this polisher out yourself online, the polisher is called an S4. Now I've had this box sat there for a couple of weeks and I haven't even opened it yet. I don't know what's inside. I wanted to open it on camera for you guys to see and get my natural reaction as well. So let's jump on in and let's see what's inside that box. Now when your box arrives, it will come in this nice branded box, and you can't hide it from the wife because it says on the side what it is, car polisher. So she'll know exactly what you've been ordering. Now once I've removed that bit of security sellotape, we can see what's inside. And it's no surprise at all if you have looked this machine up on the internet. It comes in a nice canvas, soft shell, hard shell, hybrid case. Now the case itself does feel nice quality. It doesn't feel cheap and flimsy like some I have had in the past, although it doesn't feel nice as the Max Shine V2's case or the hard plastic cases you get with some of the other machine polishers on the market. Now once I open the case up, you can see inside is very well presented. Everything has a place and it is nice and secure. You get the polisher, the 2 batteries and the charger in the bottom half, and in the top half you have all the accessories and everything you could possibly need to use this machine straight out of the box. Now I have a little pack of goodies here which we'll check out in just a minute. We have pads ranging from 1 inch to 3 inches. We have these little spindle polishers, backing plates and some more pads. Then finally we have a little pack of accessory bits and the manual. Now let's talk about those quickly before we get into the polisher itself. Now in no particular order, I'm going to start with the 3-inch pads. You do get 3 packs of these pads. Now this is a £139.99 bundle. If you were to buy the £119.99 bundle, it still comes with these 3 packs of pads, but there are a few other bits it doesn't come with that this one does, and I'll point that out when we get there. Now these pads do feel okay quality. Some of these cheaper pads that I have felt before, you can peel the backing off them really easy and they fall to bits really easy, but these do feel really nice and they do feel like they will last a couple of uses. Now this wall pad, although it does feel nice when I first pick it up, I am noticing there is a lot of fluff coming off this pad. As you can see, it is just falling out absolutely everywhere, which is not ideal. And then we also have this orange waffle pad. It doesn't feel any different cut to the flat orange pad that I've just shown you a second ago. Now these pads in the manual are supposed glass sanding pads. Now although they have a different colour backing on each of them, they all feel very similar level of cut. Then you also get these paint sanding pads, and it does have on the back of them what grit level they are. They range from P1000 all the way up to P3000. Now you do get some sanding discs with the cheaper kit, but it doesn't specify which ones they are online, so they may not be the same as the ones I've just shown you. Now this kit comes with 2 packs of these cone style spindle polishing pads. Now you don't get this with the cheaper package option, but you do get this with the £139.99 one. Now these pads do feel very firm. The orange one feels really stiff, and as you can see as I push it down, it is a very hard cut pad. Now if I go and grab the blue one, you can see it is very spongy. So you do have 3 different levels of cut with these spindle cone pads, from orange being the most aggressive, to green being the medium, and to the blue being the soft finishing pad. Now one thing I do find with these little cone pads on a spindle is sometimes they are really flimsy and weak and they've not had enough glue applied to them and they just fall off. As you can see, I am giving this one my all and it is staying on that little spindle nice and firmly. Then you also get these 1-inch pads. Again, these come with both kits. Now these ones do feel like you have 3 levels of cut with them, from firm to medium to finishing, and also a wall pad. Now also the build quality on these, again, although not fantastic, they are going to last a couple of uses. You can see, again, I can't peel that backing off. Some of these cheaper pads, that backing just peels off with absolute ease. These ones actually feel like they could go quite a few uses. Now, just like the larger wall pad, it is linting quite badly when I run my hand over it, which is not ideal. Then on to the accessories that come with this machine. Now the first thing out is this rotary attachment. Then we have the 12mm throw dual action attachment. We have the 3mm throw dual action attachment. You then have the extension tube, and you have the attachment for those spindle polishing pads. Now I just wanted to go grab the Max Shine V2 polisher kit, because I just wanted to show you the difference in quality of the dual action orbital throw pieces. Now this is the 12mm throw that comes with the Max Shine V2, and this is the 12mm throw dual action piece that comes with this Batoca S4. The size, the weight, and the quality of these pieces are absolutely fantastic. Comparing it against the V2 Max Shine polisher, you can see there is a massive difference in size, weight, and quality. Now inside both kits you do get the same accessories. So we have the 12mm throw, we have this 3mm throw. Again, that feels nice and weighty. We have that extension tube, which is designed for the rotary attachments, and it can only be used with certain pads and attachments. You can see there's a little bit of a black rod in the middle, which stops you from putting the wrong attachments on that. Basically, you can't use this with those 3-inch pads. This can be only used with the 1-inch pads and the spindle polishing pad attachment. Now I know people have modified theirs so they can use them with the 3-inch pads. I'm not going to tell you how. It can be done, and it will void your warranty. And then you also get the rotary attachment, which again does screw into the extension attachment as well. Then finally, that spindle attachment. Now to use this, all you need to do is pop your spindle polishing pad in there and tighten that little black knob up. Now my pad did fall out then, but that was user error. There is a little notchiness to use with a spanner. However, if you do tighten it firm enough with your fingers, like so, then you can't pull it out, and it does hold it in there nice and firmly. So you've got no worries about it falling out during use. Now you also get a user manual and 2 spanners, which fit the accessories, so you can tighten them up nice and snugly on the machine so they don't come undone during use. Now all these accessories, including the spanners, do fit nice and neatly back in that plastic tub, so you've got no worries of them falling out of the bag and going missing. Now down to that first green pack that I pulled out of the machine polishing bag, and inside there you get a Batoca branded air freshener. Not quite sure what that smells like, but it does smell like the black ice tree air fresheners that I've had in the past. You also get this little pamphlet talking about which batteries fit which machines, and you can see the Batoca S2 batteries will also fit the S4. And you also get a couple of microfiber towels, and to be fair to them, they actually feel really nice quality. They don't feel cheap and nasty, they actually feel really, really nice. And then you also get a pair of black gloves. Now these feel absolutely awful. These feel like the sort of gloves, once you've worn them for 5 minutes, they'll have holes, tears that have fallen off. I don't think I'll be wearing these at all. I think they'll be going straight in the bin. Then you also get this apron. Now it does feel like the inside of one of those emergency cheap camping sleeping bags you get. It just feels cheap and tacky, and it feels like it's going to fall to bits. It just doesn't feel very durable, and if I'm honest with you, I don't think it really suits me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Now the final part of the accessories are the backing plates this machine comes with. You get two 3-inch backing plates. They are identical other than the colour they come in. You have a green one and a black one. This is so you could probably pop a sanding pad on one and a polishing pad on the other and not get them mixed up. And then you have the 1-inch backing plate. Now you can see this one does have the hole in the thread. And that is because it can be used with the rotary spindle that comes with this machine. And again, as you can see, those 3-inch ones don't. Now down to the polisher itself. Now when I grabbed the polisher out of the case, I am very surprised. I was slightly worried it was going to feel cheap, it was going to feel flimsy, and it was going to feel like it was going to fall to pieces. Now you have the speed control button on the back there. That does feel a little bit clicky and a bit cheap when you push it. And then you have the trigger up the top to start the machine, and that actually feels really nice. That doesn't feel cheap, that doesn't feel nice, that actually feels really nice. It feels like a decent quality trigger. Then you also have the collar there that you pull back to pop those quick release fittings in. But overall, this machine actually feels really nice, feels really solid. There's no nasty rattles and vibrations when I shake it. It actually feels like quite a nice machine. Now onto the batteries. These are 2.5 AH batteries. Now the battery itself does feel a little bit cheap, and it does feel very, very flimsy. Now the way to charge it is you pretty much grab your power supply, you pop it in the top, plug it into the wall, and that's it. It doesn't come with any dedicated cradle to pop the batteries in. It just comes with a very cheap generic 12-volt power supply you can buy online. You can buy these for things such as CCTV, you can buy them for kids' toys or polishers. Again, they're very generic. However, that's not a bad thing. It does make it a little bit cheaper if your charger decides to give up working. Now they claim these batteries will last anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour. Now the battery does clip on nicely, and when it is on there, it is on nice and tight. There's no nasty shakes or vibrations, which will save you from getting annoyed when you are using the machine later on. Now the attachments themselves are quick release. They don't screw in like threaded attachments on other machine polishers. You literally pull the collar back, pop it in, and it's in there nice and securely. And then when you want to take it out, all you've got to do is pull that collar back and pull the attachment out, and then pop the next one back in. Online, they claim it only takes 5 seconds to change the attachments over. So today I'm going to be testing the Batoca S4 on the trusty Fiat. Now if you cast your mind back to when I tested the Max Shine V2, that thing with the 3mm throw attachment, even with the 1-inch backing plate, stalled out really, really easy. So I'm going to throw this Batoca S4 in at the deep end. I'm going to start it off with a 3mm throw attachment and a 3-inch backing plate and see how it holds up. Now one thing I will say before I start is, again, this isn't a machine polishing video. I'm not showing you how to polish, I'm just showing you how this machine fares up, because I'm not here to teach you, I'm just having a bit of a play. Now I'm starting out with Dodo Juice's depth charge. Now I'm using it on the Fiat today. This car has already been cleaned, decontaminated, clay barred, you name it, it's already been done. And I'm going to start by polishing the bonnet. Now on speed 1, I can see that pad is slightly stalling out as I spread this polish out, although it's not as bad as it was on the Max Shine V2. Now this polisher does come with 4 speed settings, ranging from 2000 RPM all the way up to 5500 RPM. Now I have knocked it up to speed 3 to start working that polish in. Now already I can see that backing plate and pad spinning, and I can see it is not stalling out on speed 3, and even with excess pressure you can still see that backing plate is not stalling out. Now if you cast your mind back to the Max Shine V2, even with light pressure on full speed, that machine polisher was just stalling out all over the place with the 3-inch pad. But this one, as you can see, isn't stalling out. Now if I turn the machine down to speed 1, light pressure, it starts to stall. Speed 2, I'm having to push a little bit down onto it to stall it out. Speed 3, I'm now starting to push a lot harder to make that stall out. More pressure than you would need to apply when actually polishing your vehicle. And then when I knock it up to speed 4, which is its maximum speed, I am putting my full force onto that machine. So you can rest assured When using this machine correctly, with the right amount of pressure, it is not going to stall out with that 3mm throw backing plate. So now I've switched it over to the 12mm throw backing plate, and I've also put the waffle weave pad on as well. I'm just giving this one the same sort of test. I've spread that polish out already, and I'm just going to work it in with the machine. And already I can feel that 12mm throw attachment has some force behind it, but you can see the machine does have a slight wobble when I have the 12mm throw backing plate on, but it's not excessive, it's not over the top, and you don't really feel it when you're using it. And you can see this machine is also really well balanced. I'm having to put no pressure, no force on it whatsoever. It just glides around that paintwork with minimal from me. Now if we do the same test as we did previously with the 3mm throw attachment on speed 1, again very similar, just a little bit of pressure and it stalls out. Speed 2, actually I'm having to push really hard to stall that out on speed 2. Speed 3, you can see that pad is compressing down to almost nothing, and it is not stalling out. I don't even know what I'm trying on speed 4. I couldn't stall it on speed 3. I am putting my full force on it. I can feel that bonnet bending. I can hear that motor screaming. There is no way you're going to stall this machine out on speed 4. It is strong, it is powerful, and it has some grunt to it. Now that brushless motor is super powerful, it is super strong, but it's also really nice and quiet. Now just buffing off that polish residue, these microfiber towels actually feel really nice. I was expecting them to feel like the ones you get from your pound store. They don't. They actually feel really nice quality. Now on to these spindle attachments. Now the machine is in rotary mode, and these things are ideal for getting behind handles. I've never been able to polish behind these handles, and they were scratched to high heavens from rings, nails and all sorts. But getting in there with these little cone polishing pads on that spindle is absolutely ideal, and it is getting in there nicely. It does feel nice and solid. I can't feel any nasty vibrations. I can't feel any bending on those rods. It is just working really nicely, and it's doing a fantastic job as I polish inside those handle recesses. Now these are also ideal for interiors. Now on to those 1-inch pads. Now in rotary mode, these are ideal for smaller areas such as handles, trims, anywhere you need that small, precise rotary precision. Now here is where I get slightly annoyed. Now I wish it did come with a 2-inch backing plate, because when I like to do these mirror black pillars, the 3-inch pad is too big and the 1-inch pad is too small. I would like to be able to have a 2-inch pad with this machine that I could use with rotary and dual action. Now I am going to finish this pillar off a little bit later on, but first I'm going to go around the entire vehicle with the Batoca S4, and I'm using Dodo Juice's Lime Prime now. Again, this car has been washed, decontaminated, you name it, it's been done, and I'm just giving it a quick once over with Dodo Juice's Lime Prime as a pre-wax cleanser, just to get it ready for a layer of protection. Now as I was going around the car, I completely forgot the price of this machine. If someone was to blindfold me and pop this machine in my hand, I definitely wouldn't believe this was a £139.99 machine. Now one little feature this machine does have that I just found out about is if you get something stuck in there, or you actually manage to stall this machine out, it has a cutout feature to save you from damaging the motor of the machine. I'll demonstrate that now. So I'm just going to lock my spanner onto that spindle so the spindle can't turn, and we're going to freeze that motor up and see how this machine reacts. Like I said, I just found this out now when I got something caught around the pad. Now the machine is still switched on. It's flashing to tell me it's cut itself out. And that has stopped the motor from burning itself out and causing any damage to the machine. Now to reset it, all you need to do is just turn it off for a few seconds. And away we go. So I've been going for around about 35 minutes now, and that battery is still going. Now after a quick buff off, I decided to give that wall pad a go. Now I have cleaned this pad off as much as I could. I have brushed it. I have done as much as I possibly could to get any of that excess fluff off. But as you can see, as I'm using it, there is fluff, there is wool flying absolutely everywhere and getting stuck inside that polish. For me, this is not ideal. If you compare it back to the foam pads that come with the machine, you can see there is so much more of a difference. So I think out of this little kit, I'll be sticking with the foam pads. So now I've been around the entire vehicle with this machine polisher and Dodo Juice's Lime Prime. I've got to say, I'm very, very impressed by this little machine. It's doing a fantastic, fantastic job. However, the battery is still saying it's full. Now I've been going for around about 35 to 40 minutes. I'm a little bit skeptical about that. I'm just waiting for the machine to die altogether and then go straight to zero. But you never know. Can it live up to the claims of 40 minutes to 60 minutes on these 2.5 AH batteries? Or is it just going to die altogether very shortly? We're going to find out. Now, like I said, I've been around the whole vehicle with Lime Prime as a pre-wax cleanser. I'm now going to go grab my favourite type of protection, a nice wax. We're going to lay it down with the same battery, same machine polisher. We're going to see if this can go around the whole car once more. Now, just as I'd finished saying that, I decided to record the battery display to show you it still had 3 bars of battery. And just as I did this, it dropped down to 2 bars of battery. So let's see how much more this battery can give. Now I am using Dodo Juice's Rainforest Rub on a 3-inch pad on the 12mm throw. I like using a machine polisher to lay down a paste wax. It makes it so much easier, makes it more efficient, and it gives you a better, thinner spread of the wax over the vehicle. Now I am just working my way around the vehicle one panel at a time, just working Dodo Juice's Rainforest Rub in. Now as I got to the back end of the passenger side of the car, that battery decided to give up. But it's around about 55 minutes to an hour that this battery has lasted on this Batoca S4 machine. Now I have been giving this machine some abuse. I've been pushing harder than I needed to. I have been working it harder than I needed to. I've been using it at speeds higher than I needed to. So for 55 minutes to 60 minutes on one battery, that's up to potentially 2 hours usage on the 2 batteries this machine is supplied with. Now it also states the battery charge time is a fast charging 1 hour. So that means with 2 batteries, you could have an endless supply of power for this machine. So there we have it. That has been the Batoca S4 Mini Cordless Polisher. And I've got to say, I am very, very impressed. That machine polisher is very, very good for the price of it. Now, if you are looking for a Flex PXE 80 and you cannot afford one, then I know I said in my previous video the Max Shine V2 was your next best bet. Scrap that. This S4 Batoca is absolutely fantastic. Yes, the Max Shine V2 is good, but this is unbelievable. Yes, some corners have been cut that make it a little bit cheaper looking and feeling than the Flex PXE 80. Like the battery itself, it doesn't come with a battery cradle. It literally has the power supply plugged straight into the battery. However, is that such a bad thing? If your charger goes bang, you haven't got to go find a specific branded charger for the polisher that's going to cost an arm and a leg. You can nip on down to your local Argos and find one of those multi-adapters. Make sure it's got the right voltage, the right fitting, plug it in, and away you go, and you're charging your batteries again. You haven't got to worry about going and buying an expensive branded battery charger. So to me, that's a little bit of a bonus. Now the machine itself does feel really, really nice quality. Before it arrived, I did look it up on Amazon, and I was waiting for the case to feel really tacky, really cheap, and the plastic to feel really, really nasty. However, I've got to say, that plastic body feels really, really nice. The rubberized grip around the body actually feels really, really decent quality, and the machine itself gives off really quality vibes. Again, you can see where the corners have been cut to keep the cost low on this machine, but are they a deal breaker? I don't think they are. However, some of the bits I did pick up on that did feel a little bit cheap to me was the button for the speed setting on the machine itself, the fact that the battery gauge turns off when you're using it. You're halfway through polishing your vehicle, you don't know how much battery you've got left, so I'd like to see that battery gauge on all the time. Yes, I get it probably goes off to preserve power. However, I just like to see that gauge on just so I know how much battery I have left, or at least have a button that I can push to make it light up. Now the trigger itself to turn the polisher on feels really nice, really smooth, and easy to do one-handed. All the mechanisms to change the heads over feels really, really nice and solid. Again, the batteries themselves do feel and look a little bit cheap. The casings around the battery doesn't fit quite right. And again, you don't have the dockable battery charger on, you have to plug the plug in the top. However, other than the little cost-cutting corners on this machine, it is fantastic. It is a solid little machine. I know I said before the MaxShine V2 would be a fantastic, fantastic choice over the Flex PXE 80 if you were on a budget. However, now I have tried this, I would definitely take this any day before the MaxShine V2. Don't get me wrong, the MaxShine V2 is absolutely fantastic. It is a brilliant machine polisher. This just has so much more power. As you can see on that 3mm throw attachment, this did not stall like the MaxShine V2 did. This machine performed so well. The battery life actually quite surprised me. So look, there's not a lot I can say bad about it. Yes, there are a few corners that have been cut. Yes, it does feel cheap in some areas. Yes, the pads that come with it, they're not great. They're not bad, they're not great. The apron ain't even worth having. The gloves, useless. There are a few bits that it comes with that you might as well not bother having in the pack. But for $139.99, why not? It saves you rushing out to buy some pads straight away. You can buy this machine, use it straight out of the box, and all you got to do is add a little bit of polish or compound. Now, I'm not saying the Flex PXE 80 is a bad machine and you should buy this over the Flex PXE 80. If you can afford one, if I could afford one, I would quite happily own a PXE 80. It's just refined that little bit more. It is just a little bit more of a quality machine, and it has a few nicer little features and feel about it. But if you can't afford one of them, or you just can't throw £400 or £500 down the drain, I would definitely recommend one of these. Now, I haven't done a full extensive test. I've only used this for the first time today for you guys to see. Now, I don't know how this is going to handle everyday use. I know the Flex PXE 80 is designed for people in the industry, people that are going to use it daily. This might not stand up to that. However, I will be testing this a lot this summer, and I will be putting it through its paces, so make sure you keep your eyes out for my videos if you are looking to buy one of these. But if you are a weekend warrior, if you are someone that's going to use it maybe once every couple of weeks, maybe once a month or once every 6 months, I would definitely say save your money, buy yourself this, don't buy yourself a Flex PXE 80. That is designed for people that are going to use it regularly, all the time, constantly. I would say if you're going to use it occasionally, save your money, buy yourself one of these and take your wife out for the weekend. You'll be a lot more happier. Now guys, I've been Hairy Housewife. You guys have been great. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and check out my back catalogue of videos. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. And I promise I won't leave it so long this time.